You're going to report the truth and it annoys people, so be it. This guy's teaching Hasbara people how to use AI. 40 security guards for me. It's like, it's insane. I don't know what that is. I never heard of it. I'm like, go Google the disengagement.
If you remember, we were actually supposed to go in Australia, and our flight was Friday morning when the Iran war broke out. So we also didn't make it to Australia.
Can you imagine, though? You've been stuck there for...
That is exactly what I thought. Like, what you just said is what I said to myself, like, oh my God, I would have been gone, and my kids would have been home. I mean, I hate to say that, but having missed the Iran war. It's not the same as, like, being in the field and being able to, like, feel it with all the people, you know? I mean, let me ask you, though, do you regret any of the online activism, though, in the fact that, you know, now this has happened, that, you know, you're a person that your livelihood really depends on your reputation.
So this is an interesting conflict, internal conflict that I have all the time, which is, do I say, you know, what I believe in the depths of my soul, even though it will get pushback? Or do I just say, you know, I'd rather not annoy people? And I'll tell you, this just happened on Friday, I believe. A soldier in Gaza sent me a picture of him holding not a rocket, a pagaz thing for the tanks, with a thing on it that said, in memory of Charlie Kirk.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so he sent it to me. I blurred his face, and I did post it. You can't even imagine the pushback that I got. And, you know, I can understand why people find that offensive. Maybe I shouldn't have posted that so early. It was just after he was killed. But ironically or not, the biggest pushback I got was from Jews saying, it looks bad. What are they going to say about us? So that point really, really annoys me. It's like, we have to stop apologizing. Enough already. Like, I'm not saying you should do things that are offensive, like, on purpose, but if you're going to report the truth and it annoys people, so be it, right? In this specific case, like, I came back from Shabbat, I think it had 3 million views or something, that post. It went crazy.
Wow,
and of course, it was massively viral, you know, amongst our enemies. So I ended up deleting the post, which is something I never do. But it just went too far, and I was like, it offended so many people, so I took it down.
Have any of these things actually hurt your business in any capacity with some of the companies you work with?
Oh, I was supposed to speak in I'm not going to mention where, in the States, in October. And part of the itinerary, the schedule of this conference was how to use AI in Hasbara. Not to lie, just how to use these tools, right?
Right.
Somehow the website was found by pro-Palestinian activists. It wasn't even like public yet. And then they hacked into the organizers' emails and found that they had engaged me and many of our mutual friends on the topic of how to use AI. And of course, they took it to a place of, this guy's teaching Hasbara people how to use AI, and they canceled the event. They got it canceled.
It's crazy.
Which was a nice paycheck for me.
Do you think because the like American authorities, for example, are afraid that they can't secure an event like that and that, God forbid, something could happen? Or do you think it happens more because of anti-Semitism?
I think it's both. I think it's, in other words, this was canceled because they said they're going to bring massive crowds of people. They're going to disrupt the whole thing. And there's really nothing we can do about it in terms of, like, you could bring security guards for me, which is...
Maybe it's very expensive.
It's expensive, but also, like I'm just a random dude writing on the internet. Why do you need 40 security guards for me? It's like, it's insane.
Well, it's what happened with Charlie Kirk. I mean, when you think about that, it's like so related.
I still can't believe it happened.
This rising extremism, you know, that we're starting to see in such a crazy way that nobody is safe. I mean, and I know I saw, like, afterwards that a lot of influencers, you know, like yourself, like Charlie, you speak on a college campus, you expect to be able to speak relatively safely. You don't expect to get shot. I mean, and with rising anti-Semitism, I mean, it is out of control for a lot of Jews. I guess my question for you is actually that, like, how do we reach this boiling point? What do you think led to this?
So that's a good question. So the way I see it, and this is something that I've kind of been thinking a lot about over the last 2 years, right? Just to be clear, like October 6th, I had my own consulting business.
That's why we started out. We saying, you know, you were a tech columnist. You're somebody who ran a very successful tech marketing firm. And all of a sudden, you become such a strong voice for Israel. And today, it's 2 years later, you have become one of the most important voices, I would say, in terms of, you know, explaining Israel's narrative. Yeah. So how did we get here?
So first of all, you know, like you said, I had a consulting business, and it was growing, and it was great, and I was a kid in a candy store, right? I mean, from my perspective, this is how I was going to retire. October 7th, I never had more, like, clarity in my life that I needed to shut down the business and focus on Israel, because forget the numbers of followers. Many people have a lot of followers. The people that follow me, I think, make my platform very unique in that it's the tech world, but they don't view me as a Hasbara person. They view me as their colleague who they trust. And so I realized I had to leverage that trust, right? I had to reach people that no one else could reach. And so I, like, sat down and literally defined very, very specifically my mission of what I'm going to be doing, which is 2 components. One is to be a source of real-time accurate information, which is, as you know better than me, real-time and accurate are mutually exclusive, right? Because if it's real-time, you can't verify it, right? And if it's verified, it's not real-time. But because I'm getting, feeds from the Knesset and from, the IDF spokesperson and very many formal feeds so I'm able to kind of cross-reference and make sure that what I report is true. And I'm very proud of the fact that with very few exceptions, I was spot on in the war. And even those exceptions, I wasn't wrong, I was too early. Like it wasn't verified yet, okay? So that's one. And the second part of the mission that I'm on is just to give our team a reason to get up in the morning, just like something positive, a milestone, inspirational video, whatever. And my posts have now surpassed 4.5 billion impressions, which is insane.
And on which platforms are you mostly working? LinkedIn and everywhere. Twitter, everywhere?
I think my most engagement is probably Twitter, X.
Interesting.
So I think Twitter is my highest engagement in terms of like views, and then Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, smaller on TikTok, which is something I'm working on. But yeah, those are the platforms. And I have a very specific audience at each place, and so I'm tailoring my content for each platform, which again takes time. So that's what I've been doing, and honestly, it's been extremely gratifying to reach that many people. And you know what? Even the views are a nice vanity metric, like they're good for my ego. But what's really meaningful are the messages that I get from people by the thousands saying to me, you changed my mind. Like I did not know any of this. Like, I'll give you an example. I wrote a post about Zionism. What is Zionism? Not from an emotional perspective, literally, historically, factually, what is Zionism? And I got easily 5,000 messages in response saying, I knew none of that. So people saying to me that I changed their mind is what really gets me going. Wow. And, the Knesset gave me an award. Like it's been nice. I'm not going to lie. It's not been easy to shut down that multi-million-dollar business. I don't have any second thoughts. It was the right thing to do. Not easy.
Wow, I can imagine. But I guess playing the devil's advocate, like it's interesting that all of the pro-Israel advocates like yourself or influencers are using all these social media platforms. And social media platforms are also so much of the problem of why we're seeing, I think, a lot of the growing anti-Semitic. And certainly we saw it rising and rising. But at the same time, I mean, I think there's a lot of research by, different kinds of organizations, whether it's the Cyberwells or others, that are showing how much the nature of social media and the inability to shut down the anti-Semitic messages is actually leading to people, the masses, believing these terrible tropes.
So first of all, it's not that the social media networks can't shut it down, it's that they encourage it because their algorithms thrive on extremism.
Okay.
Right? That's what gets more clicks, right? The hatred and the anti-Semitism gets more clicks and helps their business. So they're not just not stopping it, they're encouraging it.
Okay.
But the way I see it, there are three groups on the internet, right? There's our group, which we don't need convincing, but we need reinforcing. We also need reinforcing.
Okay.
Many people on our team don't know enough history about the conflict. They just talk. They don't really know.
Right.
And the second anyone challenges them, that's definitely important.
Okay.
Then there's the opposite group, the people who I call the Heil Hitler folks, just no talking to these people. Complete lunatics, right? You can show them the sky is blue and they're going to be like, no, the sky is brown.
Okay.
Then there's the middle group, which is by far the biggest group, like not even close. These are people that are not necessarily pro-Israel, but they're people with integrity. They're people who are willing to talk and listen and have civil conversation. And yes, if they realize that they didn't know something, I'll give an example. I spoke to someone, you guys occupied Gaza on October 6th. I'm like, what's a disengagement? I don't know what that is. I never heard of it. I'm like, go Google the disengagement. He'd never heard of it. So he comes back to me. He's like, dude, I knew none of that. You weren't in Gaza. I'm like, there was not a single Jew in Gaza on October. So he's a person with integrity. He's like, okay, wow, I need to relearn everything now, So, that middle group are the people that I'm speaking to. Those are the people that have enough integrity to realize that they were wrong about certain things. And by the way, when we mess up Israel, we own it. I have no problem.
Yeah. More or less.
But, at the end of the day, my message is to your viewers and to everyone watching, again, we've been down this road. This isn't our first rodeo. We know how this ends because in every generation, we end up surviving and that empire disappears. So we will dance again.
What an amazing ending message. Hillel, Fuld, thank you so much for joining today.
Thanks.